If you give me a checklist, I will go
Oh yeah.
nuts on that shit. I love nothing more than being told explicitly, here are 5 to 10 things you need to do mindlessly. Hey guys, welcome back to the GTA Every Mission podcast. I am Henning Barfod Fogue, joined by my buddy TPG, and we are continuing to talk GTA 3. We're slowly inching our way out of the mafia-controlled Portland area with a couple of, I think, pretty banger missions in the offing. We finished up a couple of Salvatore Leone Mafia Don missions last week, right? We dropped off his capos who had a meeting. We took out his lady Maria for a night of hijinks and drugs and all kinds of shit. No sooner do we drop Maria off than we've got another mission straight away. So there is, according to the Don, a potential rat in the
Hold on,
operation.
hold on. It's good to be
But
back. I got a couple housekeeping questions.
please,
Okay, first things
yeah,
first. Let it be known I'm a little under the weather, dude. So if I'm not my usual zealous self, I'm crushing an electrolyte water with vitamin C injected into it. Two Max Stuff Oreos, which is my new go-to flavor after a bad dalliance with birthday cake.
hmm.
Um,
Wait, sorry. The flavor is maxed because that's not a flavor. That's just a quantity of cream.
yes, so Max Cream.
All right. Max cream, to
Uh,
my knowledge, is like basically like a quad stuff. It's like 4 layers of stuff.
yes, so I got that, and then I
All right.
got two apple sauces.
This
I'm a
also
big late night applesauce guy.
this sounds like a
Uh,
perfect cold remedy.
so I was talking to you about housekeeping.
Yeah,
Somewhere
please.
along the way, we will need to revisit this Lost Joey mission.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get back to it. I haven't
We'll get
played it
back to
yet.
it.
Yeah. I
We'll
know
get to
exactly
Joey.
I know exactly the one you're talking about. I've got the map all figured out. We will be getting to it in episode 7. But
So
we're
you know, there's a famous meme, which is to me that's cinema.
okay.
So I feel
The
like
Marty
we're
Scorsese meme.
yeah we're starting to get into some cinematic missions, dude. So I'm going to be talking these missions with you with a movie meter, which is how much I felt like I was living in a sick action movie.
All right. I
And
like this construct.
cutting the grass started to feel like we were getting some things falling into place.
Yeah. Do you
So
want to take the mission description or should I?
you could take the mission description, but I do want to talk about the grand reveal when we get there.
Okay. All right, understood. Okay, so again, we are back at Mafia headquarters. Salvatore Leone has a new mission for us. There is some kind of rat in the operation who has been talking to the Colombians who have been pushing their spank. They are perennially one step ahead of us. It's got to be a rat. The suspect is some dude by the name of Curly Bob, and we'll find out why he's named Curly Bob. He's been tossing a lot of money around at the club, at Sex Club 7, owned by Luigi. So it stands to reason that given the amount of money he's pulling, he's spending a lot more than he's bringing in. It all seems suspicious. So on the table is tailing the guy, seeing if he's talking, and then if he is, letting him go as violently as possible. The likelihood that he's not talking is, of course, very slim. My favorite quote from the cutscene was the Don saying, "He ain't pimping or pushing, so he must be talking," which I think
Huh.
that's as good a way to describe anything as anything. It's meaningful to highlight that this is the first tailing mission in GTA 3. And tailing
Don't
missions,
want to spook him
they don't want to spook them, right? There is a spookometer that shows up. I hate tailing missions, and I don't think that I'm alone in that.
in
It's
life or in GTA.
Well, I mean, what kind of tailing missions am I doing in life?
I don't know, man. You were a Lyft driver, so shit could
Eh,
be crazy out there. You live in LA. I live in the suburbs of Boston.
I do live in LA. I was never asked in my capacity as a Lyft driver to tail somebody else, although
Would
I
you have if someone did it
yeah,
and the
no,
meter was
100
on?
100% I would have. There's nothing that would have stopped me from helping a passenger tail somebody. Unless I felt like maybe, the law was going to get involved, but even then, I think I would have craved the adventure of it. So, all right, real life tailing, thrilling. In the confines of a video game, you are just trying to maintain a safe distance. And I fucked this up several times here where I wound up getting way too close, immediate mission fail state. The standards are very, very high as far as like what kind of distance you can maintain. But you're tailing this guy from the red light district all the way over to the docks. And once you get there, I'll let you deliver this massive moment in the game.
I have an interesting question. When did tailing missions become a thing in video games? Is it possible that this is one of the first tailing missions in gaming? I feel
In
like
my
that could be
in
some homework for us.
It could be some homework for us or our fans if they exist. In my personal experience, this is on the early side of tailing missions. I remember playing like Ocarina of Time in 1998 and
You
feeling,
tail people in that game?
maybe it's more of like a hide and seek sort of thing, but similar mechanics where if you get too close, then you're screwed. Maybe I'll look this up and we'll
Because
do
I
it.
remember these in the GTA, or no, excuse me, in the Assassin's Creed games, but those came out
Right. That those
after.
those succeed GTA 3. I do think that this is largely a function of the 3D era of gaming. It's possible this was included in like Super Mario 64 and I can't remember, but this stands out to me. Maybe not the first ever instance of it, but one of the first big ones. Um, anyway, once you successfully tail all the way to the docks, you are given
I'm an expert tailor, dude.
expert. All right. So you did
Expert
not
tailor.
require any do-overs here. You nailed this on first attempt.
Yep, easy peasy, dude.
I'm thrilled for you. Uh,
And I also wanted to say I have a new car that I've been
okay.
very into,
All
which
right.
is
What are you
I
rocking
think
these
it's the
days?
Sentinel.
Yeah, the Mafia Sentinel.
Great handling, great pickup, good
Hmm.
power, good speed.
It looks great too. It's got a nice body on it.
It's got the cool little things in the back. And yeah, when I saw this guy, it reminded me of Vito from Sopranos.
Okay.
Kind of like a round, portly dude, even though I first experienced him as Edgar in 24.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to 24.
Are you still
But
talking about
let's
Vito from The Sopranos?
well, that's what I thought this dude looked like. That's that's
Yeah.
that's
The
that's
char
that's what I thought Curly Bob looked like.
the character model is similar. I mean, he's called Curly Bob, we learned because he definitely has curly hair. That seems to be like the beginning and the end of the nickname. Um, he is clearly high on what I can only assume is the spank in question, right? And
Yeah,
he
I'm
see
method acting right now, bro. That's why I'm sniffling so
I
much
love
because
it.
every other word this guy said was a sniffle. Like, you know,
Yeah, no, you're right there with
one of
him.
the first like male tweaker drug users we've encountered in this game.
Yep, we've met some drug pushers. We've not met a ton of male drug users. So, there's equal opportunity offense given in the GTA universe.
Well, you get the sense that some of these lovely women that we've been driving around like to party. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean, Maria, by her own admission, that's her game. And that is what we helped her out with last week.
But lo and behold, dude, we see Catalina.
Yeah, she's back, baby.
I did a double take there. I was honestly not expecting to see her again.
Fact, for me, I had basically forgotten that she existed in the game, that was a sort of like driving narrative force. And part of me thinks that that's kind of baked into the inherent limitation of having a mute protagonist because yes, all right, you get betrayed by Catalina, you're off on your own once you're broken out of the armored car, and then you're immediately doing errands for the
But now I'm
mafia.
wondering if the Colombians break out of the armored car,
Right.
are they our future allies? See what I mean?
I mean, it seems already that even over the course of these like 15 missions or whatever we've covered, the sort of thesis of GTA is that alliances will forever be shifting. You had mentioned last week that it's probably not going to be a long time that we wind up working for Salvatore, and I suspect as much myself. We've established the mafia, we've established the triads, we've established the Colombian cartel. There's the Mexican Diablos. There's lots of eclectic groups running around and in some cases running this town. So anything is possible. But I had forgotten that she existed. And on the one hand, yes, it's like a big moment, but on the other, you as a character don't react to it. We don't get any sort of
No, you get
reaction there.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like looking at this earnestly on like a narrative level, I do think that it's there's a blessing in having a silent protagonist on whom you can kind of project whatever you want throughout the game. And I think that that works really well in the context of a story where you're just jumping ship constantly and working for whoever. But I don't I don't know if this is intended as like a big emotional moment, but certainly it doesn't land as one for me.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, this was kind of a weird mission. Like, you definitely feel like you are getting plot machine in action with
Right.
like looking for a rat, thus establishing that there's things amiss. You know what I mean? And then you get her, and then I just ran this dude over.
Yeah, that's I think the game highly encourages you to simply run over Curly Bob to end the mission. You could gun him down if you were feeling pretty sadistic, but mowing him down with a car with your Mafia Sentinel or whatever feels right.
No, it
I
just feels a little weird because, like, it's like it's kind of this reveal. Then all of a sudden, it's like I was expecting a gunfight or something,
right.
but then that's it for him. He meets the Sentinel.
Sure. And any feelings that you may have about this reveal of Catalina are exactly that. They're your feelings as the player, but they don't belong to the protagonist. So I think what you're highlighting is that disconnect.
Yeah, it was so jarring that after I ran him over and took his money, um, I went up the the plank of one of these ships because we were down by the docks, and I just
Uh-huh.
had a little stroll around
You
the
just
harbor
want to
by myself.
listen, the famous TPG quote, keep exploring. So you're doing it in the GTA universe as well.
Yeah, so I explored a little bit, and
Did you find anything?
ultimately, I found this mission to be both enlightening story wise, but kind of a letdown
Wait,
in
hold
terms
on.
of like
You were about to tell a
dramatic
story
payoff.
about you were about to tell a story about exploring the cargo ship.
Oh yeah, so I just kind of walked around the cargo ship. I checked to see what I could climb, what I couldn't climb, and then just took in the harbor. Thought about what
Hmm.
I did. Another
Yeah.
body,
Uh-huh. Did it
another
land?
soul.
Did it land with you? Was there a moment of recrimination?
Not really, because he was a bad guy. He was a drug dude.
Yeah.
So that's it for him, dude.
I
And
mean,
on the on
listen,
the on the movie scale, not that high, to be honest.
no. What is the movie scale out of 10, I'm assuming?
The movie scale was just like, did I feel like I was in a movie? You know what I
Okay.
mean?
And you did
So
not. This did not pass your movie test.
no, not at all. We'll save that for some future missions for sure. I would
I
say.
felt like I was in a moment from a movie. I don't think this was, a big set piece. I think we're getting there with some of the missions we're going to talk about. It is relevant to our discussion that we leave this mission not only with $15,000, which, as we've established, money doesn't mean anything to us anymore. I've got something like $400,000 I can do without money. I would do these missions for free. But you get two beeper notifications, one of which is that Tony has a job for us, Tony
Yep.
Cipriani. The other is that something called the Import Export Garage is now available for our perusal. And I just want to take a quick second to highlight my own sort of like gaming proclivities. If you give me a checklist, I will go
Oh yeah.
nuts on that shit. I love nothing more than being told explicitly, here are 5 to 10 things you need to do mindlessly. In this case, just go like boost some cars around the city. You are given a list of like 10 to 15 cars, which include a secure car, the armored car, a bus. You've got the coach, trash master, garbage truck, and the ice cream van, among others. And so, like, immediately, I forgot about any story here. I forgot about any sort of overarching mission for myself. I'm like, I'm just going to go steal cars. I don't know what that says about me that is what drives me, but that does it for me. I could live inside these just, to-do lists that the game creates for you.
I love it. It's interesting, you know. I know she shoots you in the face, but it's
Yeah, no,
it
it's
seems
pretty
like she's more
definitive.
involved in the game than I thought. I would say.
Right. And you as the mute protagonist have a very Zen-like approach to this, at least for now.
Yeah, dude. You know, the money wasn't even that good,
No.
to be
No.
honest.
So, luckily we've got another mission to tide us over. So we immediately head over to Tony's house, back to his mama's restaurant, and we are told via letter again. So Tony,
Another letter,
another
bro.
fucking letter from Tony. Tony won't show his face. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's eating with his mama. I don't know if he's stuck at the mansion, playing pool with the guys, whatever. He declares we're at war, just like it's the opening crawl of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. We are told to go, we're told to go whack some triad warlords at three different junctures in Chinatown and to take down any soldiers that might give us some trouble. We are also sent out with two mafioso, two of the
Two
men in
men in
black,
black,
two of the men
bro.
in
This
black.
was sick.
This, yes,
They get
something
in the whip with you.
they get in the whip. You got your Mafia Sentinel, your favorite car, and because this is a, nice sedan, it can hold four people. You've only got two of them, but another first. This is your first mission with NPCs going to bat for you, like assistant NPCs. Um,
What a thrill, to be honest.
yeah,
Like,
it's pretty cool.
I feel like in a lot of games, you know, sometimes you have allies, but usually they're good guys because you're a good guy. But this
Uh-huh.
is like not that. This is you're a criminal. And
Uh-huh.
now you have other criminals. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
There's no gray area in who you are and who they are.
no, not anymore. You're all
It's the Trinity,
operating.
bro.
It's the Trinity. You're operating on the wrong side of the law, that's for sure. But, you're doing it for money. So if that's all that we can worship in the GTA universe, then that counts for something. But to me,
Who in this crime family do you like the most at this point? Who's your fave?
uh I think
Your pen pal, Tony, who only writes you via
I
letter.
would I would like Tony more if I got more FaceTime with him. I feel like he's been ducking us a little bit, in one-on-one time, and
I thought you would
that's
appreciate his prose, dude.
in the abstract, I appreciate his prose, but I like a man who is willing to just have a face-to-face conversation with you.
Where is he, by the way? Like, is he just like tied up with his mom? Like, what's the deal with that?
That's what I'm wondering myself. The game doesn't necessarily fill it in. Although, actually, I'm just remembering. I forget if it was after this mission or maybe the last one, but I was listening to a little radio station called Chatterbox 109, and there was a call-in show with the host Laszlo. Who should call in but our friend Tony, who is talking about his mom and his relationship with her. So Liberty City is the absolute smallest place imaginable that, there's like
We're
12
not
total
even in
people.
Liberty City, bro. We're in Portland.
Portland is a borough of Liberty City.
Oh, I knew that, but still, this place feels tiny at this point.
I think that's by design that we are now starting to feel very cooped up in this part of town. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've seen pretty much every inch of this place and I'm jonesing to get across that bridge. I am waiting for it. And with each of these missions, I do think that like that is a clear animating force. And not only just like the desire to get out, but the city is, like Tony wrote in his letter, at war. If you set so much as a foot in Chinatown, the triads are on your ass like crazy. The gunfire is cacophonous. And quite honestly, I found this mission challenging as a result of this changing map. How did you fare?
This mission was awesome. I was living in a movie. Right out of the gate, I thought of Godfather, Michael Corleone, where you got to go kill the heads of the families.
Uh-huh.
So I thought I was going to get all these cinematic deaths, but what I got was just total chaos, dude.
No, it's
It was
insanity in the
just dudes
streets.
just fighting in the streets everywhere. In some ways, very thrilling because at this point I'd never seen anything like this in this game before. You know, I had seen them try to stop me to get to the Don's house, but
Right.
I had never seen my boys and their boys just like going at it
Oh yeah. No,
in the streets.
it is for all intents and purposes a war zone, and so you do have these three isolated places to go and knock out the triads. The first ones I took out no sweat, ran them over with my car. They didn't pose much of a problem. But similar to trying to take down Chunky Lee Chong however many weeks ago, there is a segment here that you cannot access via car, right? You got to get out of the car with your boys, with the men in black,
Yep.
and chase down some triads. That's the point at which I'm immediately like beset on all sides by something like 16 triad members. Thank God you don't have to protect the mafia members who are with you because there's absolutely no world in which I would survive this mission if like their aliveness was part of the
Oh yeah.
success.
I don't want that kind of mission, dude. I think I had gotten a shotgun from Curly Bob,
Okay, all right,
and
you armored up a little bit.
I was ready to rip with that thing, dude.
Uh-huh.
I found this mission to be thrilling, but not that hard, to be honest.
All right, so you sailed through on your first attempt.
I sailed through on my first attempt. Yes.
I'm thrilled. Damn. All right. We each have our respective strengths as gamers. So you knocked off each of these segments. The cops weren't after you, or you were able to
No,
get
I
back in
had
the
tons
car.
of people after me, bro. I was just driving around my Sentinel like a boss. I mean, those
Hmm.
two dudes that were with me, they did not last long. I mean, there was a high body count here, dude. One of the things I love about this game is that once the bodies start hitting the floor,
Uh-huh.
then like the ambulance people show up and they also end up hitting the floor. And the streets of Portland are just full of dead bodies and little green cash.
Yeah, but again, the cash doesn't mean anything anymore. So it's just like it's lining the streets like Christmas lights. I do think it's very funny that when the ambulance shows up, sometimes they will resuscitate someone who you just killed, who will immediately start trying to kill you again. That is how mission oriented every single gang member in Liberty City is.
So one piece of game design which is interesting here is there's not that much dialogue during the war. It's just like dudes shooting each other. You know,
Right.
they're not yelling out like, "Oh, you have to die now," or like, protect the turf. It's just
No, the soundtrack is just gunfire.
yeah. Um but I found this to be incredibly entertaining and I felt like I was like living in a movie. It felt like the city was coming alive around me.
See,
And I
I felt the
really
same
enjoyed
way.
it.
I felt the same way. I also got echoes of our not escort mission, but our sort of chauffeur mission with Maria last week, where to me this game at its best is where the story's solid enough in a given mission, but really what it's doing is setting you up for just like sandbox insanity. And you are seeing all the mechanics of this world, whether it is like the cops and emergency medical technicians, this gang faction, that gang faction going to town and creating these kind of organic moments for you. So like on my third and final successful attempt, I knocked off the first batch of guys, ran them over. Second group was able to just like narrowly get back in my car after 12 of them are chasing me down. The third spot, you need to go to that
Yeah, I
the
killed a
fish
lot
pro
of people trying to get this fish van, bro.
right. Right. So you can't access the fish processing plant. And it should be noted here that there are actually two fish processing plants in Portland, one of which is the Belly Up fish plant, and the other is called Turtlehead. And you have to actually get the right fish van to access that processing plant, which I did not know going into the mission. And so I wound up stealing the wrong van after like a ton of effort, only to discover that that was incorrect. I think I got yanked out of that one before eventually, just having to scour the streets for the second one. But I don't know. In the moment, it's frustrating, and it's like, God Almighty, can I just like please be given anything to get through this mission? But in retrospect, I like that there's a challenge there, and I like that the best laid plans, whatever those are, always go up in flames, and you have to pivot and you have to improvise, usually by yanking several people out of their cars. By the time I finished this mission, I was, completely unassisted. Both of the guys that went out with me had died along the way, but it felt correct that
Yeah, I don't want you to think I'm some type of Terminator. I think I was down to like 3 health when I got there. But
that's all right. That's a dramatic finish.
yeah, fantastic mission. Probably my favorite mission we've done so far in the entire game, if I'm being honest.
Okay. All right. So I take it that this firmly clears your movie meter.
Yes, the other thing I enjoyed about this was it felt like war optional. Like
What does
all
that
this
mean?
chaos was around you all the time, but you had your own. Every man fights their own battle. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I felt like sometimes I could drop into the battle and help my boys out, or I could just drop out. Like when I was trying to get the truck, there was a triad in my way. I was going to put him down. You know what I mean? But
Right.
there were triads all around me. They're everywhere. So eventually I had to focus on my mission.
Sure. And let your other guys do their thing.
Yeah, and like kind of remind me of Saving Private Ryan, where they have to decide to take out the pillbox and he's like the mission is to win the war. You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
at some point it seemed like there was no limit to the amount of triads I could paint the street red with. And they were just gonna keep coming.
You know what? That's a great point. I had a similar moment where the gamer brain, my gamer brain suggests to me sometimes that like there are truly winnable states. You can kill everybody, you can, deplete someone's resources, you can ensure an almost mathematical victory. And the fact that that is not possible here in the context of, the quote unquote war, I I think is actually like narratively meaningful for GTA. And it's exactly what you're talking about, where it's like, all right, you got a job to do here. You're not going to solve this. And quite honestly, this neighborhood is probably going to look like this for the rest of the game. This is just like a permanent state of war between the triads and the mafia, unless something even grander happens, which it may. But for the time being, you can't control this. You got to say like the GTA Serenity prayer and realize, to accept that which you cannot change. And you can't change the fact that the triads are going to keep coming for you.
It still cracks me up that some triads still have baseball bats and some have guns. You know what I mean?
Sure, you think they would have weaponed up a little bit?
I mean, if you're at war, yeah. What is this like gangs of London? Like it's crazy, especially when you have the Uzi and you could just like cut these dudes down.
I did notice that a little bit in the next mission. You would think that after learning some things, in these various moments of altercation, that either side respectively would have like learned something. So let's say like after last week, we drove our buddies back to, the mafia house. I would have installed probably like more powerful fences after that, which Don Salvatore did not. And similarly here, yeah, the baseball bats just aren't cutting it anymore. I think they've had ample
Huh.
opportunity to recognize that this is probably not like a winning weapon, but there's only so much that people are going to learn when they're driven by hate.
So let's go to the next mission.
All
Our
right.
blowfish.
Okay.
Tony's
So
back.
we finish Triads and Tribulations with $30,000. Again, chump change. But yeah, we head back to our boy Tony's house and he's there, IRL. No more letters. For whatever reason, he's decided that it is
Were you sad
now.
about this?
Was I sad to not get any more letters? No, I just told you I want FaceTime with my guys. I want to
I
actually
thought a
connect with
lover
them.
of pros like you would want
Tim, you
more
are you are
gifts.
you are repeating yourself this episode. You have already mentioned that. No,
Huh. It's
I
the
was
cold, bro.
it's the cold. It's got to be the cold. It's all that spank you're doing. I was very happy to see him and to talk to him. And Tony tells us he has had it with the triads. I thought that he had already had it. He literally declared war on them last week. So I felt like we'd already kind of stepped beyond that, but I'm willing to give Tony the time to process what's going on. Um,
Raining mackerel,
right.
nothing low budget.
We are going to deliver the killing blow by setting off an 8 ball made bomb at the fish factory we were just at. And yeah, we're going to rain fucking mackerel from the sky. presumably body parts as well. And it's actually a pretty straightforward mission outside of the insanity that we just dealt with in Chinatown. All that we have to do is pick up a trash master, aka garbage truck, uh, loaded with explosives, get it over to the fish processing plant, the belly up fish processing plant, not the other one, not Turtlehead, and just get out of there. Pretty straightforward, right?
I I started getting into some wild shit here, bro.
Okay. Define
I was
wild shit.
I was very excited to see 8 Ball again. Disappointed that he wasn't there physically. I
Right. We
yearned
we we
for
have not
8 Ball.
actually seen him physically since the very first mission, since Luigi's Girls.
Yeah, he's just there. But
He's
where the
working.
where
He's in his workshop making bombs.
behind where you pick up the truck, there was like this weird tunnel
Yep.
that is
Looks like a
covered
train
by like,
tunnel.
yeah, it's like it's an old train tunnel though. Like
Okay.
it's covered by like bushes and shrubs.
Right. I know the tunnel you're talking about. Did you go
So
in
I
the
walked
tunnel?
down this tunnel for like, I don't know, 10 seconds in game time, and I was like, damn, this is actually
The real
much
ass tunnel.
longer than I thought. Started thinking about if this is a tunnel in the game or a tunnel in my own mind, dude.
Yeah. Right. Is this House
Mining
of
the
Leaves? Have you
the
created it?
the the depths of my own morality after
Uh-huh.
I paid the streets rent last week. But after a little vision like that, I went back to the car. This was tough, dude. This thing did not handle like a Mafia Sentinel.
No, we're talking about a garbage truck, as compared to a heavily modded Mafia sedan. So you're also given the damage meter, right? I can feel the game recognizing, like, okay, this is not the craziest mission, so let's like gussy it up a little bit. Same deal with the spookometer as we were tailing Curly Bob to the docks. It, I mean, like you said, this does not handle well, and the drivers in Liberty City, as we've established, are insane. So even if you think
This
it's pretty
made
much a
total
straight
sense to me
shot,
though, bro, because they had already set up that this is biblical. So
yeah,
in my mind, I was working with the biggest payload I've ever had in my life.
yeah, you're dropping fat man and little boy off at Hiroshima and
Yes,
Nagasaki.
exactly, dude. That's quite a reference, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Take,
bring some historical perspective here.
so it took me a couple times to get there. Just kidding, it took me twice.
Okay,
But the first time I got there, I literally missed the circle by 2 seconds.
because there's a timer involved. We only have so much time to get there.
Yes. So you have the damage meter and you have a timer,
Yeah.
which great gameplay mechanic.
No, I'm I,
And
I'm not saying it's cheap so much as I am like highlighting how you can turn an otherwise straightforward mission into something that carries some stakes to it. We're talking about, like you said, a biblical mission, and you want to feel the weight of that. So the combination of those things does lend this a sense of like finality and power. Now, I got through this on one attempt. When you failed, did the trash truck explode, or was it just a timing
yeah, it
issue?
did explode, which was
Okay.
crazy because I was like 2 feet from the tanks. You know what I
You're so
mean?
close, man.
Yeah. And one of the things that I liked about this mission was after the bomb went off,
Hmm.
there were still a couple triads hanging around that I swiftly dispatched, which
I
gave me a beautiful sense of finality to this
uh,
chapter of our quest.
I'm happy that you had them there. See, I felt like the fact that this bomb didn't, rupture the entire area. It was actually a fairly localized explosion. The fact that there's 3 to 4 surviving triad members, that were not impacted by the blast at all. That took me out of the biblical kind of quality of it a little bit, but I always appreciate having some cleanup to do also.
The pretty between this mission blowing up this building and the last one, which was just an absolute carnage, dude. I feel like we are drifting out of the small intimate violence of Grand Theft Auto and
Uh,
drifting into the uh, the realness, I would say. And then when I say the realness, I don't mean like real. I mean like, wow, there's a lot of killing happening here. Like
No,
we're really
we're getting
cranking up
into
our own violent nature. You know what I mean?
I think we're getting into some Michael Bay territory. Maybe Michael Mann is a more appropriate reference point, but yeah, it's with each subsequent mission, the not only I mean the map is the map right now, but it seems clear to me that we are about to reach some kind of crescendo. Um, it's unclear whether the triads have in fact been taken care of. I mean, according to Tony, this is it. This is the killing blow, but they're still around. They still exist. And we don't know exactly how things are going to shake out with the mafia. I think what I've learned from this game so far is to not trust anybody and to keep your head on a friggin' swivel.
But what outside of you getting shot in the face? I mean, who has betrayed you?
Uh, it's not so much what has happened as it is just this feeling of unease. You know what it is? Even though the Curly Bob mission was ultimately like not that substantial, the fact that like they're willing to cull their own. And obviously, Curly Bob had his problems. He had his drug problem. He was, in fact, selling us out to the Colombians. I don't know. It doesn't give me a great feeling that Salvatore is so quick to kind of handle that stuff. It makes me question what's going to happen if I step out of line a little bit and just how kind of tight that leash might be. I felt
Listen,
it
the
having
only
Maria
person
around.
I'm loyal to is Eight Ball.
Yeah, no, 8 Ball has demonstrated nothing but loyalty and engineering know-how. 8 Ball has been our best friend, even if we haven't gotten to spend any time with him. And no, I 8 Ball is far and away the most trustworthy individual we've met so far. I
I
don't have
think
a
it's
great
also tough because GTA. This game is built on the foundations of every gangster movie and show that came before it, both of Yonder Year and of the immediate present of 2001. So
sure.
you know they're going to betray each other. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're bringing that to the table. I'm not coming to this game as like a babe in the woods who has never experienced a story before, let alone like a kind of mob specific one. But I think that's a testament to what GTA is playing with, that you are
So
in
let me
that
ask you this:
headspace.
do you think
Yeah.
there are kids that at the time in 2001 this was their first piece of mafia storytelling?
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
how many let's say you were a middle schooler when you were playing this.
Sophomore in high school.
Had you seen The Godfather at that point?
No, I think I'd lied to several girls and told them that I had, but I had not
That
seen The
gives you that
Godfather.
Jersey cred, bro.
You need that Jersey cred. I think maybe I'd seen a little bit of Goodfellas and probably analyzed this. I think that was the extent of my mafia movie bona fides. But you're like nominally aware
When
of
is
it.
the Analyze This reboot coming?
I don't know. We're probably a couple of years away. Wasn't
Give me the Legacy sequel, bro.
we'll
We're
get
getting
there.
we're getting to Meet the Parents one. We're recording this in October of 2025,
That one's due
and
2026 with Ariana Grande and Skylar Gissando.
you'd think that one would be next. I mean, that was a hit. That was a huge movie, big mob appetizer for a lot of us, huh?
Who was that Billy Crystal? Was he the therapist?
Put some respect on Crystal's name, bro. Of course
No,
it was.
okay, okay, okay. I had it in my head for a second that somehow Matthew Perry was in that movie, but he was in a different mob movie with Amanda Peet.
Yes, it's funny that we both remember that Amanda Peet was in that movie,
Uh-huh.
but can't remember the name of it.
No, couldn't tell you. Doesn't matter. And on the subject of people in Grand Theft Auto not learning from their mistakes, we had Trojan horsed our way into the belly up fish processing plant just last mission. And now they're letting us back in. No one's vetting you. No one's checking your ID. You would think it's interesting to me how like you so much as set foot in Chinatown and you're immediately met with gunfire because they recognize you. But you do the same thing over at one of their like crucial businesses and they don't care. So everybody's playing very fast and loose with their security measures in the Portland district of Liberty City.
This was a high level movie meter mission for me.
This was a high level movie moment, but
Tension, bro.
yeah, I like what it kind of foretells. I feel like any sense of complacency we might have right now is going to be short-lived. There will be retaliation. There will be things to clean up. I do not think that you walk away from this life unscathed. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and it just keeps going and going until, you wipe each other off the face of the earth. But I don't think that's even possible in this game.
Decent payday too.
30,000 bones. Yeah,
Take that.
let's take it. I'm waiting for a new weapon to be available at Ammunition, so I can actually spend some money on that.
You and me
Um,
both, bro.
yeah.
I've seen the weapon wheel. I need more.
Tim, question for you. Have you dabbled in anything? Have you dabbled in something called a rampage around the city? Have you seen these skull icons?
No.
You haven't even seen them.
I'm not an urban explorer like you, dude. I'm a man of mission. I'm a man of faith, dude. I'm a man of
You were busy exploring the drug cargo ship earlier, but you can't explore the rest of the city?
dude. I'm not out there looking for rampages. I'm out there looking for vistas.
All right.
I
Well,
told you I like the lighthouse up by the Don's house.
yeah, listen, I love the lighthouse too. I love the three little benches outside of Mafia headquarters, which imply lots of outdoor gatherings. But I also love to, make it rain in the city. And so these rampages, you can find them, and they will offer time challenges to, gun down whatever kind of faction. It could be like blow up 10 cars with a rocket launcher, or kill 30 Diablos with an assault rifle, whatever. But you get into these and you're locked into that weapon. You cannot leave that weapon behind. So for instance, when you have the rocket launcher, you've got to get these cars blown up in the time frame. And meanwhile, the cops are coming after you. They're encircling you. You're probably going to get blown up in the process. But just one more element of chaos in Liberty City and in Portland that, I don't know, adds to this sense of never-ending cycles of violence that me, in any case, am actively a part of. It reinforces the, I don't know, the power of like getting lost and exploring and finding your way. And before you know it, you've got this like internal map for yourself. Obviously, there's a very literal mini map on the game, but I don't know. I like going without my targeting computer, like Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars.
Trusting the force, dude.
You
Trusting
gotta
in the
tr
liberty.
trust the friggin' Force. Do you have anything else you want to talk about today?
No, dude, I'm out of applesauce.
All
I'm
right.
out of Max stuff, Oreos, and the cold is coming on. I'm about to ask you about Let It Ready again, dude. I'm running out of gas here, bro.
Okay. All right. Well, before we do that, then we'll call it. Feel better, and we'll catch you again in Liberty City.